students, how are you all? Welcome back to the science class by Saleh Rahman. And today we are going to discuss a new topic, that is light. Basically, what is light? Light is a form of energy. As you know that there are various forms of energy, that is heat energy, light energy and sound energy. So now we are going to study that light energy. Light is a form of energy by which we can see objects. Actually, light gives the sensation to our eyes through which we can see any kind of objects. See, light is a form of energy which gives the sensation to our eyes and make us unable to see objects. Very basic property of light that it only travels in a straight path. Second, it is a form of energy. As you all know that light is a form of energy. Third, it can form shadows. Yes, light can form shadows and you are very familiar with shadows. You can see your shadow everywhere when there is light. Let us see more about light. First of all, we should discuss the reflection of light. Means how the light falls on a mirror and how it gets reflected. See, the bouncing back of light by shiny surface into the same medium is called reflection of light. What does that mean? Same medium. That word same medium means, for example, solid is a medium, gas is a medium, liquid is a medium. So if you are watching the light reflection into the same medium means air to air. The reflection of medium in air to air or glass to glass or water to water. That does it mean. So the bouncing back of light by shiny surface. Shiny for surface, suppose you all have that plain mirror in which you make yourself dress up. That mirror, you take that mirror, okay, the bouncing back of light by shiny surface into the same medium. Suppose you have a plain mirror and you see that a light enters into it, and what happens, it falls on it and it will bouncing back. It will bouncing back. And in what manner it will bounce back? In this manner. See that picture? This is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray, and this is the normal ray. And what are these rays? Look, incident ray is that ray which falls on the plain mirror. This is a plain mirror. It has a shiny surface at the above and it is painted from the back side. And you see that the incident ray, that is the light ray which falls on the plain mirror, and it will bounce back from that point. This is the point of incidence. The incident ray lies on the point of incidence and it will reflect it back with this point of incidence, and this is the normal. This is the perpendicular, that is the 90-degree angle from the plane mirror. So we see that this is the incident ray, normal ray and reflected ray and point of incidence. You got all that 4 points with what is incident ray and what is reflected ray and what is normal and what is point of incidence. The point of incidence is that point on which the normal, incident ray and the reflected ray lies. Okay. And incident ray is that ray which falls on the plane mirror. And reflected ray is the ray that is bouncing back, and normal is the perpendicular to the plane mirror. So this angle, this is the angle of incidence. The incident ray and normal ray makes an angle, that is what we call angle of incidence. And the reflected ray and normal makes an angle, that angle what we call angle of reflection. Now see the laws of reflection. There are two laws of reflection. The law states that angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. The first law states that angle of incidence, what angle? Angle of incidence, that is I, is always equal to the angle of R. Means angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. And the second law states that the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray all lie in a same plane. they all lie in a same plane, means it is a surface. And the normal, this is the normal, this is the reflected ray, and this is the incident ray. The incident ray and the reflected ray lie in the same plane, that same plane. Okay, reflected ray, incident ray lie in the same plane. Suppose the incident ray is that, it is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. No, it can't be happen. So what does it mean? That the incident ray, refracted ray and the normal all lie in the same plane. Okay, got that point? Silver metal is the best reflector of light. Silver metal, you are very familiar with that metal, silver metal, through which we make so many ornaments or so many jewelries. That is the best reflector of light. Now there are two types of reflections, that is regular reflection and irregular reflection. So basically, what is regular reflection? See at the picture that this is a smooth surface and these are the incident rays and these are the reflected rays. Incident rays are parallel to each other and you see that the reflected rays are also parallel to each other. So that means that when the reflecting surface is smooth and well polished, when the reflecting surface is smooth and well polished, then what happens? The incident ray which are parallel to each other get bouncing back, so as that the reflected ray are also the reflected ray are also parallel to each other. See, when the reflecting surface is smooth and well polished, the parallel rays falls on it. The parallel rays, that means that incident rays to one another are reflected, goes in a particular direction. In a particular direction. What does that direction? That the reflected rays are also parallel to each other. Got that point? If incident rays are parallel to each other, then the reflected rays are also parallel to each other in a smooth surface. Now, irregular or diffused reflection. What does it mean? When the reflecting surface is rough, the parallel rays falling on it. Now the incident rays are parallel to each other, but the reflected rays are diffused one, irregular one. They are not parallel to each other because as you see in the figure that there is a rough surface, and the rough surface, due to this rough surface, that this incident rays go in this direction, this incident rays go in this direction, means just because of that surface that is rough or not smooth, then the incident rays parallel to each other are not reflected back parallel to each other. Now see the multiple reflections. What are multiple reflections? What does it mean? Means the reflection that is many times. Now see the multiple reflections. Multiple reflections by multiple mirrors. See, when two or more mirrors are placed at an angle to one another, means you put 2 or 3 or 4 mirror at an angle with each other. Means you put the mirror that is 90 degree to each other, that is 180 degree to each other. So you put them like a way to make an angle. So what you can see now, you can see the multiple images in both the mirrors. When two or more mirrors are placed at an angle to one another, we can see multiple images of an object. For example, we all are used to visit where? Hair salon or hairdresser shop. And in that shop, we saw that there are two mirrors placed in front of each other. And in that mirror, you can watch an infinite number of your images formed. I know that you always saw that because when I was a child, I used to see that and I used to count that images 1, 2, 3, 4, my back and my front are 5, my 6, 7. I used to count it, but you just can't imagine that they are the infinite in numbers. So it means that if we put 2 mirrors or more mirrors at an angle with each other, then they can make the multiple images. The number of images formed depends on the angles between the two mirrors. What does it mean? It means that the number of images formed by the two mirrors are depending upon the angle between that mirrors. See, the number of image formed. Suppose we take the number of image by n, then the formula is 360 degree by theta minus 1. Suppose you take theta as a 60 degree angle. Suppose you place what? You place two mirrors at 60 degree angles. Then what will you see? Then n is equals to 360 by 60 minus 1. That is 6 6 are 36. 6 minus 1, and the image formed are 5. So when you placed two mirrors at 60 degree angle with each other, and then you will see the number of images formed are 5. So you can calculate the number of images by this method. But when two mirrors kept opposite to each other, remember that saloon which you used to visit in a weekend or in a month. When two mirrors kept opposite to each other, then infinite number of images are formed, and there will be infinite number of images. So when will you visit to the saloon, then you can see that there are infinite number of your images are formed. Mirrors. Mirror is a polished surface like a glass which reflects all the light incident on it. What is mirror? Mirror is a polished surface on which the light is incident and it reflects the light. Mirror is that object. There are two types of mirrors, plane mirror and spherical mirror. Plane mirrors, it has a plane reflecting surface. Those mirror which has a plane reflecting surface are known as plane mirror, as the name suggests, and those mirror which has the spherical surface are called the spherical mirrors. So the image found by the plane mirror is always virtual and erect. Suppose you have a mirror in your home. We all have a mirror in our home. That is the plane mirror. So when we see our image in that mirror, what we can conclude? We see that we saw a erect image of us. We see the erect image of us. So the plane mirror always makes a virtual and erect image, and we see the image of us of same size. We see the same size. Suppose I am of 5 feet, then I saw myself in the mirror same 5 feet, not above or not less. Image formed is as far behind the mirror can be seen by the looking into the mirror. Means the distance from the object to the mirror is always equal to the image inside the mirror. That means the object outside the mirror and the image inside the mirror have same distance. Okay, they are of same size, same nature, or they are virtual and erect. And image is laterally inverted. Image is laterally inverted means when you see an object into the mirror, suppose you write a name on a plate, on a slate, or on a board, and you see into the mirror, and what will you see? You see the letters are just opposites. You see S in this way, L in this way. So right seems to be left and left seems to be right. It means that the image is laterally inverted. Now spherical mirrors. Spherical mirrors, it has a spherical reflecting surface. They are of two types. Now spherical mirrors are further categorized into the two types, that is concave mirror and convex mirror. This is the concave mirror. In concave mirror, the polished surface is that, and the inward curve, this inward curve is the reflecting surface. And in convex mirror, this outward curve is the reflecting surface and this is the polished surface. So the image formed depends on the distance between the object to the mirror. Means the distance tells the nature and size of the image made by the concave mirror. In your higher classes, you can study all the images formed by the concave mirror. In convex mirror, image formed is always virtual, erect and smaller in size. Means the object is always larger than the image, and the image is always virtual and erected one. So the concave mirror are used in so the concave mirror is used by the dentist to see the large images of your teeth, and also the concave mirror is used as a shaving mirror. When a person shave his face, he use the concave mirror to see the full on image of his face. And convex mirror, as you see that the convex mirror shows the smaller images. So convex mirror is used in the car, buses and scooters rear view mirror. You see the rear view mirror by which one person can see the back persons or the back traffic by the mirror. And also the convex mirror is used by the shopkeepers to keep the shop security, to see the whole shop picture in a one small mirror for keeping the security of their shops. Now see the another topic, that is refraction of light. What is refraction of light? The change in the path of light. The change in the path of light when it travels from one medium to another medium. Now we changing the medium. When we study the reflection of light, then we say that the light travels into the same medium. Now in the refraction, the light travels from one medium to different medium. See, there are two types of medium, that is optically rare medium or the optically denser medium. What is that mean, rare medium and denser medium? Rare medium is that medium in which the speed of light is more, and the denser medium is that medium in which the speed of light is decreases. So you see that there is air and there is water. Water is denser than air. So when a light rays fall on the surface of water, see, when the light rays falls on the surface of water, then this is a normal and this is the incident ray, and this is the angle of incidence, as you all know that. Now this light rays get refracted. This light rays refracted into the denser medium, that is water. Then what will happen? Actually, this refracted ray, it goes towards the normal. It goes towards the normal. Actually, it bends towards the normal. It bends towards the normal. So the angle of refraction is lesser than the angle of incidence. But when a light rays entered from the denser to rare medium, glass is denser than water. So here water is rare medium and glass is the denser medium. When the light enters into the rare medium, then this is incident ray and this is normal and this is the angle of incidence. Now the light enters into the water. See what happens? The angle of reflection is bigger than the angle of incidence, because the refracted ray away from the normal go away from the normal. The refracted ray go away from the normal, and in this case the refracted ray go towards the normal. So it means that the speed of light is more in rare medium than the denser medium. And as we all know that the speed of light in air is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and the speed of light in water is 2 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. See the lens. Lens is a transparent glass which has two spherical surface through which light can pass. So what is lens? Lens is a spherical surface by which now see lens. Lens is a transparent object that has two spherical surface by which light can pass through it. Means lens has a two spherical surfaces. Okay, and lens is a transparent object. So there are two types of lens. There are two types of lens. Same as the mirror has two types, the lenses also are of two types. That is convex lens and concave lens. As you see the concave mirror in the convex mirror, similar names are there, that is convex lens and concave lens. Now see the convex lens. Convex lens are also known as the converging lens because when the parallel beam of light rays incident on the convex lens, then the light rays are converged at the one point. That's why they are also called as converging lens. You see that when the parallel beam of light rays, see the incident rays are parallel and they are converging there. So they are also known as converging lens. And the concave lens are known as the diverging lens because when the parallel beam of light rays incident on the concave lens, then the rays will get diverged. So they are also known as the diverging lens. Now see their shapes. The convex lens has thick at the middle and narrow edges. The concave lens is thick at the mid and at the edges it is very narrow. But concave lens has the opposite appearance, is narrow at the mid and has broader edges. Now the image formed, see the very basic concept that is related to mirror. Now I will tell you how it related to mirror. First you see the convex lens image nature. The nature and size of the image formed by the convex lens is depend upon the distance of the object from the lens. That means the nature, size is depend upon the how far the object placed from the lens. How far the object placed from the lens. You will study in your higher classes that how images formed, diminished or large or of same size. In your higher classes it is depend upon the distance of the object from the lens. Same you see in the concave mirror. That means concave mirror and convex lens has the same nature. And concave lens, the image formed is virtual, erect and highly diminished. Means the image formed in concave lens is always virtual, erected one and very small in size in comparison to the object. And same you see in the convex mirror, right? So you can easily learn them. So like the convex lens is same as to the concave mirror and the concave lens is same as to the convex mirror. Now let us see how we see the objects. So now we are going to study our eye, human eye. So see the picture of human eye. There are some terms. See, ciliary muscles, cornea, pupil, iris, aqueous humor, vitreous humor, optic nerve, retina, eye lens. Cornea, the transparent and bulging outward through which the light enters from it. Means this is the cornea. You see that this is cornea. The upper layer of your eye is the cornea. And inside it there is iris. Iris is that black or blue or green. You see the various type of iris in the people. And that blue, somebody has blue eyes, somebody has green eyes and someone has a black eye. Most commonly we all have that black eye. I have a brown eyes, so that color is due to the iris. And pupil is that the hole inside the iris. Pupil is the hole that is inside your iris. You observe when you see your eye into the mirror, you can easily see the iris and the pupil inside it. So these are the ciliary muscles. These are the muscles, ciliary muscles, and eye lens is attached to it. It is the part that we can see, and it is the part hidden inside our body. You can see the pupil, cornea, and iris. And ciliary muscles guards the eye lens. So it is pupil. It is the hole in the middle of the iris. Iris. It decides the amount of light enter into the cornea. Actually, the light entered through the cornea. When light entered into the cornea, what happens? The iris allows the light, that how much of light enters into it. Actually, suppose we go into a dark room. You go into the dark room and you see there is no light, and what will happen into your eyes? You expand your eyes. You expand your eyes in search of the way, so how you would escape from that dark room? You see the objects, so you will try to see the way. So it happens that your iris expanded, your pupil expanded, and when you go into the bright sun, where the light source of light is much brighter, then you see that your iris gets contracts and the pupil size goes very small. It is because that iris decided that how much light should enter through the cornea. Now, eye lens. Your eye lens is made up of convex lens, because convex lens is a converging lens and there are so many refractions when the light enters into the eye lens. It is because the cornea and the eye lens, the distance, the space between the cornea and the eye lens, there is a aqueous humor. There is space between the eye lens and cornea, and it is full of aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is a liquid part or liquid substance which is filled inside the cornea and eye lens gap. And there is a vitreous humor. It is also a liquid part which is filled up into into this part from eye lens to retina. And what is retina? Retina is the screen where image is formed. It has a large number of sensitive cells. This is retina. Here the light enters into the lens and it gets refracted, and a number of refraction takes place just because of the change in medium. Here aqueous humor, lens, and vitreous humor. And our lens is also made up of a jelly-like substance, and lens is of converging in nature, and lens is controlled by the ciliary muscles. Now when the light enters, the image is formed into the retina. As the lens is converging in the convex lens, so the image formed is the real and inverted. Now you see that the image formed is inverted. As the image form is inverted, but we see the object as they are. Yes, we see the object. Can you see a girl with a head down and a legs up? No, you see the girl in the same way, that head up and legs down. So how it should happen when the convex lens makes the real and inverted image? So when the image formed at retina, at the same time there are so many sensitive cells present on the retina. They convert this image into the electrical signal. At the same time when the image formed, they convert into the electrical signals, and the image is transferred to the brain. Now the image is bringing up to the brain through the optic nerve. Now the brain receives the image as the electrical signals and collects the information and processes the information, and hence the brain causes the image to be see that as they are, as the object. So as I say that the girl is in front of you is same as the, you see, same as the size and the same as of that head is up and the legs are down. And what is the function of these ciliary muscles? Ciliary muscles are the adjusting ones. Ciliary muscles adjust our lens according to the object. Sometimes we saw you can see the objects far from you and the close to you. You can see so many objects. So the convex lens is focusing a lot of number of distances. So the ciliary muscles are there to adjust the focus of your eye lens. I hope that you got all the points related to the human eye and the working of the human eye. So power of accommodation of an eye. The power of adjusting focal length of eye lens with the help of ciliary muscles. As you see in the human eye, that the ciliary muscles adjust the focal length of our eye lens, so as to we can see the object easily, that is far away, that is nearby, that is in the middle. We can see easily all the objects just because of the ciliary muscles, and this is known as the power of accommodation of eye. So basically these types of questions or these types of definitions came across to your exam, that what is the power of accommodation of eye. So you can write in this way: the power of adjusting the focal length of an eye lens with the help of ciliary muscles. Now let's see the defects of eyes and their care. There are 4 types of defects among the eyes. First one is myopia, hypermetropia, presbyopia, and astigmatism. Myopia. Myopia is also known as the short-sightedness, in which you can see the nearby object easily, but you can't see clearly the faraway objects. So this is called the short-sightedness. Can't see far objects clearly. Okay. To remove it, we use concave lens, so the lens becomes less convergent. Actually, in short-sightedness, our lens becomes more convergent. When the lens become more convergent, then what happened? This is the lens, and it becomes the more convergent. So before the retina, image is formed. So the image is formed before the retina. So we use the less convergent, that is the concave lens, instead of convex lens. We use the concave lens to make it somewhat divert, so that the image formed at the right to the retina. To remove it, we use concave lens, so the lens becomes less convergent. What is the cause of the short-sightedness? See, the excessive curvature of eye lens. The eye lens has the more focal length or the more curvature. Elongation of the eyeball. Similarly, if we have the more curvature, then the eye lens is also the larger in size. Image formed before retina, and hence the image formed before retina. Hypermetropia is the long-sightedness. Can't see near objects clearly. We can see the far away objects clearly, but we can't able to see. Suppose a person has a hypermetropia, he has difficulty in reading because he can't see the nearby objects clearly. To remove it, we use convex lens, so the lens become more convergent. Actually, what happens in the hypermetropia? In this type of disease, the focal length increases and eyeball becomes shorter. When the eyeball becomes shorter, then the converging power is very less. The converging power is less, and we need a more convergent lens, so that the image formed behind the retina. Because of the less convergence, the light rays diverges, and after that, when it gets converged, the image formed behind the retina. Suppose this is your retina, and this is lens, and the light rays coming through the lens, now it will become the less convergent. Just because of the less convergence power, the light rays goes beyond the retina, so the image can't be seen clearly. The image found behind the retina. To cure it, we use what? Convex lens, because convex lens are the converging lens. Now see the presbyopia. The combination of myopia and hypermetropia. The person who suffers both diseases, the myopia and the hypermetropia, is suffering from the presbyopia. To remove it, bifocal lens are used. Actually, to remove it, we use the two lens together, that is concave and convex, mix up together to see the objects. It is because of the weakness of ciliary muscles. Actually, when the ciliary muscles weakens or the eyeballs hardens, means the or the hardening of your eyeball, ciliary muscles weakens or the hardening of eye lens causes the presbyopia, because ciliary muscles adjust your power of accommodation, and when ciliary muscles are not working properly, then your power of accommodation disturbed. That's why you can't able to see clear objects whether far away or whether close to you. Okay. Now, astigmatism. In this defect, a person can't see horizontal and vertical lines simultaneously. We can't see both lines together, that is vertical and horizontal. In this type of disease, a person can able to see either horizontal lines or vertical lines, but they can't see two types of lines, that is horizontal and vertical, simultaneously. This is because the cornea is not perfectly spherical. In this type of disease, it is caused due to the not spherical cornea, because in this type of disease a person has undisturbed cornea. Cylindrical lens are used as remedied. In this type of disease, we use cylindrical lens to cure it or to see through the objects. I hope that you get all these diseases and their cure. So today's video is over and the topic light is finished. I hope you all like the video and your all concepts are clear now. So basically, thank you so much, children, and keep on studying.